Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I am the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to this morning's Next Level Thinking presentation. And I've entitled This Can Still Be a Year for Winning. Now, you may look at this video and go, "You are crazy, John." But I know there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a tremendous amount of uncertainty in people's health, in the economy, in the marketplace. I know that there's a lot of scary things going on. But I contend that this can still be a winner. And you might ask, why would you think that, John? Well, I'm glad you did, because I have 5 points that I want to share with you why I think this could still be a winner. Number one, it has just begun. We are early in the game for this year, and yes, the markets are down, but so many people are pulling in the same direction like we've never seen before worldwide. Uh, how can we not succeed long term? Will we succeed in the next 2 weeks? I don't know that, and you don't either, of course. But if we're all pulling in the same direction, how can we help but succeed long term over the rest of the remainder of this year and into the following years? Remember what Yogi Berra said, and I quote, "It ain't over till it's over." End of quote. And I would encourage you to remember that, number one, it has just begun. Point number two that I'd like to make is that if you focus your efforts and fine tune all the basics, you will undoubtedly be better off both in the short term and in the long term. I'm talking about things on your dairy operation like cow comfort, feeding, breeding, optimizing all these things, including your management techniques and your financial analysis. Stay ahead of the game. Things are changing rapidly, and when they do, you do not want to be caught short. So I would encourage you that this is not a time for shortcuts. 2009 was a terrible year in the dairy industry, and it burned a lot of people, particularly those producers who cut corners. And when things did turn upward and for the better, they were off track. Production wasn't where it needed to be, and it was hard to bring it back. So I'd encourage you, if you focus your efforts, fine tune the basics, you're going to be better off long term and short term. So stay the course. My third point is that this is a time when you really need to manage both revenue, and I know you're saying, what revenue? But I'm just joking when I say that. Manage both your revenue and your expenses as much as possible. None of us are miracle workers. I'm not either, and I do a lot of financial analysis. We're not miracle workers, and this really stinks in the short term. It's terrible. I understand that. I'm seeing it too. But your reward here is not short term, it's long term. So manage as best you can, do the best you can. You're going to feel like a juggling act at times, but do the best that you can and stay on top of things and communicate with your vendors, because it is going to be a tough time in the short term, and hopefully only short term. Point number four, focus on the items that you can control. Again, going back to productivity, cows per hour through the milk barn, feeding program, breeding programs, and I would add one more that you can control, and that's employee morale. Your employees watch the news, as we all do, and if they do, they may be very worried because a lot of people are scared right now. This is your opportunity, not a challenge, it's an opportunity to communicate more with them, not less, and basically be an effective head coach, because that's what you are as their employer. You're their head coach, and you need to communicate with them and not just falsely cheer them up, but let them know what you know and what you know is going on and what you're hoping is going to happen. They will do everything they can to help you succeed, in my opinion. And point number five, my final point, I want you to remember one thing. No game was ever lost in the first half. And as a resident of Kansas City, you can ask the Super Bowl Kansas City Chiefs, the winners of the Super Bowl this year, and in all three of their postseason games, they were behind. Once by, I believe, 24 points at the end of the first quarter. And they still came back and won. And yes, you'll say they had Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, who are a great quarterback and coach, respectively. They were phenomenal. They did a great job in their roles. But I want to point out one thing. You've done this before. You've already proven yourself a winner. You're a survivor in this dairy industry. And I want to tell you that today I believe you can do it again. You've done it before, and I think you can do it again. Because if you realize that this game has just begun, you focus your efforts where you can, stay on top of revenue and expense to the best of your ability, and again, remember, no one's a miracle worker. Focus on the items that you can control, and bear in mind that no game was ever lost in the first half, as I pointed out about the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, I believe you can make it, you can thrive, and maybe you won't feel like you're thriving for the next 3 to 6 months, but long term you can pull through this. And we have a lot of people pulling in the same direction. Bankers and everyone else is pretty much on the same page with this. We've all been impacted by it, so I would encourage you to stay the course, push forward. And I would offer you a quote from Stephen Richards, who said the following, and I quote: "With every challenge you face, there is an opportunity hidden within." End of quote. And once again, with every challenge you face, there is an opportunity hidden within. Again, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategy Advantage. I want to thank you for listening today, and I wish you the very best of success this year. Thank you very much.